You talked about the drama that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just directed. Can you tell me more about that? Like, what is it about, and when is it coming out? If anything, you're willing to share.
Uh, well, Dastak was it was basically about it's about a divorced woman, and what happens, and the not consequences so much, but a lot of the, how society sees a divorced woman. But it wasn't too much on that part alone. That part of it was very much incorporated in the story. But it starts with her getting married to this man, and him being in love with someone else, doesn't treat her well, and then she has a kid, and he says that I have to go once his father dies, and that he's freer to make his own decisions. He decides to leave her, and they've just had a baby, and the other woman is not willing to. Obviously, she's not going to get into a relationship with the child, so he signs off the child to her, and then of course all the things that happen in between, and then she finds a really nice guy, and but then this man comes back into her life, and now because he can't have kids, he wants his child back. So it's basically about that.
Mm,
But I think the highlight for me in Dastak was my main lead, Sohaili Abrushi. I I'd never worked with her. I have worked with her before, but in a very in a sort of a short film as an actor. But she was just brilliant. She was brilliant. It was just such a joy working with this girl, and she was the main. It was all about the the character's name was Kiran.
mm.
So it was an interesting thing, and she was very invested in it, and there was a lot of discussion that we used to have, and in that way it was very nice. The only thing is the project went a little out of control because we were put on air suddenly, and then it was basically just micromanaging and firefighting. That was a little disappointing, but otherwise it went off well. I got lucky. I got lucky again. I had amazing actors to work
Amazing. You know, not to count years, but let's talk about, obviously you have a long career, very, very fruitful career. Um, and I'm sure, I mean, we all have these moments where, where maybe we're sitting in solitude and we think about how we got to where we are today. And do you sort of reflect back and enjoy those times of the 80s and the 90s, even the early 2000s, just to see your path of coming in all these, very, very monumentally, historically known world dramas and well-written dramas that kept audience, especially Hasina Muin dramas, kept audiences on the edge of their seats until the last episode.
with.
Like, what's going to happen with these two characters? You know how her dramas
Yeah.
ended, right? So yeah, so just do you sort of think about that, and what do you feel about that? Because it's your career has been amazing. Obviously, I have only followed it until the end of 90s, so I don't know much beyond that. But I'm just speaking in that
Yeah.
realm.
Yeah. The thing that I really miss, and loved about that time was, I think the times were innocent, even though I don't know if Karachi has ever had innocent times, but somehow there was something about Karachi in those days that I, I don't know. Maybe it was just me, because I had my car. I used to drive to work. I come back from work, and I had that sense of freedom, and just working with like-minded people, working with friends, working with that I really miss, because now you don't really get a choice, and not every time. I mean, I've been lucky with all my directorial projects that I've had, a very happy green room, which I'm always happy about. I said, even if they don't like me, but the green room should be happy. And if the green room is happy, then, I know that my set it's a good set. But I really miss that. I miss the camaraderie of that time. I miss the closeness. I think also it was all very new to me. So I was very into it. I'm sure a lot of the actors must have felt कि अच्छा हाँ बस हो गया ना, meaning we've talked enough about it, but because I was new, I was sort of much more hungrier to be part of it, and but yes, I miss the innocence. I miss the PTV had a lovely structure. It had we worked in studios. we could never, garmi ka kabhi pata nahi chalta tha, because we had air conditioned studios, we had 3 cameras, we used to work. I mean, I don't even remember how many scenes we used to do in a day, because it was just so much fun. It was just going to work was fun. Now going to work can be a little tedious, because we work on sets, we work on locations. Locations sometimes are not very comfortable. Um, there's the heat, there's so many factors that come into it. And because we worked with multiple cameras, we used to do a scene like it was like little theater pieces. The whole scene was shot in one go, so we had to know the entire scene, we had to know our lines from the beginning till the end. Now everyone comes, they don't know their scenes, because that's how they've learned. A lot of the times, for some reason, I don't know why production companies are not willing to give out the script also. So actors are coming on set and they're learning their lines, and mashallah, they're very good with it.
Really?
Yeah. But they're very good. I mean, like, I know some people they'll come and they'll just look at the scene and that's okay, and they will give you a perfect performance. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, if it was all rehearsed and the whole thing was there, can you imagine what level we can get to? But that's what they've learned, and that's how they have come, to be a part of this fraternity. But I miss that. I miss the rehearsals. I miss the seriousness of the craft. I feel that we're not serious about the
I
crafts.
I was gonna say the same thing, that I feel that in those times it was more about the art
Yeah.
than necessarily about money, right?
That and your face. So I remember when we used to be on screen, we used to have what we called quarters. So I think we had 4 quarters in the year. Every three months. Yeah, every 3 months we
Yeah.
had. And so if we were on, say in the January quarter, we couldn't do the next one. We had to skip it. They were not allowed to cast the same actor for the next quarter. So, but now it's like you see the same faces, so
Over
there's
and
no
over.
thought process that goes into it. It's just, chal rahi hai to chalne do. I feel that's the, okay, if we're getting the views, we don't care. And, sometimes, like in our this show that we do, there's so many dramas we have to watch, which can be very difficult to watch, but they get their views. So and I say that at the end, I said, who are we to say anything? I mean, just look at the numbers. But I feel that if we had developed institutes, and if we had developed a path when we came into the private sector, then we could have really gone. I mean, we're very lucky because our dramas are loved all over the world. I know that for a fact. People watch it, but I just feel that I'm just thinking where we could have been if we had taken it step by step and the right way.
Yeah. And look, again, I don't know much about the last 25 years, but I know that, directors like Saira Kazmi, who
Yeah.
is probably one of the most talented directors. I don't even know if she still directs anymore. If she did, I would, watch her drama in a heartbeat. And Shoaib Mansoor, who's obviously not in dramas, but Khuda Ke Liye and all that. So there's a lot of that, and many more that I can't remember right now. That's again, it goes back to the story, to the art. Like Nange Paon, I mean, what a phenomenal drama that was, right? It was just so well structured characters, and it was balanced, and the way it ended and everything. So again, going back to the characters, because those characters are missing, and I genuinely believe, even in Hollywood, when there's no character, like movies like Jerry Maguire, which I'm sure
Yeah.
you've seen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like all that stuff is not there anymore. You don't
Yeah.
see that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. And it's also very it's I just find even the level of acting is sort of, that, I mean, I love rom-coms, and we've had some amazing rom-coms in the past, but now you pick up one, you pick up another, and in 5 minutes you can't watch it.
And I think
Of
it goes to what you were saying earlier too, that before it used to be like every quarter, you had to take a
yeah,
break for a quarter,
yeah,
and now
yeah,
actors are coming on the set, they're getting scripts on spot. Yeah, and a very veteran actor may pull that off, but
yeah.
others probably not because you're not really diving into the character, just reading lines.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So the couple of plays that I mentioned, if you see those, you can see that the actor, like you can see the involvement of the team. You can see that here's a well-oiled team that is interested in not just the script, not just the thing. It's the characters, it's the actors, it's the director. It's, like you can see that everyone was so involved in these.
Yeah.
And I think also when especially people of my age, when we get a good script, it's lovely to read a script that is exciting you. Otherwise it's the same lines, it's the same thing. You do it, you do it for the money, you do it because a friend is directing, you do it for, it's very rare that you get these really good scripts. Nadia Afghan recently said that. She's saying, I've been very, very lucky. She's been part of some really, really good scripts. And she's saying that's, she's saying just reading it alone was such a joy.
Mm.
उससे पहले आप या एक नंद हैं या एक बहू हैं या एक and those are very flat characters and they're very flat lines, and here is something that you can show off your talent. We don't get that chance to show off the talent.